To me, this is the final war. The nuclear bomb was the closure of the Strait of Hormuz. So Trump needs to crash the price of oil. And we're going through massive market manipulation right now in order to get to a scenario where the only choice is to do a deal. I believe that the negotiations that we're allegedly on, off, and everyone's debating right now have already been a 5-year negotiation. But you want to put it in its most simplest form, a negotiation between China, BlackRock, and JP Morgan. That's what I think this war is. We are categorically going through a global reset.
What exactly is going on in the Iran conflict? Now, there has been a ton of changes, Simon, since last time we spoke about 2 weeks ago. Things seem to have escalated, but then they've kind of backed off. The markets are going crazy. So, Simon, last time you laid out this idea that what we're witnessing is it's not Israel and the US versus Iran. This is the financial industrial complex versus the military industrial complex, that we're seeing basically the transnational capital using the U.S. military to kind of go in and get rid of the IRGC hardliners, kind of strategically weaken Israel, as well as get the U.S. bases out of the region to kind of set up the Gulf Coast area to actually be open up to markets, to actually maybe get some stability in that region of the world as well, too. And you'd also pinpointed it was the April summit, the April China summit, that we might even see the basically proposal of what the things are going to look like going forward at that point in time. So there's a ton of information compressed in there. Can you give us a little bit, if I've missed anything in terms of the framework, please correct me there and give me an update. Where are we? What do you see going on right now with the Iran conflict?
I believe that the negotiations that we're allegedly on, on, off, and everyone's debating right now that are manipulating the markets like crazy, have already been a 5-year negotiation between China, which is effectively the rising power, and America, that is being shrunk into a regional power and going through an asset stripping exercise by what I call the financial industrial complex. Now, in order to achieve that, you have the old world order, which is represented by the US being the military industrial complex. Now, they benefited from strategic tension and forever wars in the Middle East because they were able to print money and then send it over to come back and purchase weapons. And then you could use that to create the demand for dollars through the petrodollar. And then you would continually have that money being lent back into the bond market. That order is effectively over. And so there is a financial operation and a legacy military that still wants to hold on to their version of the world. That's represented by Israel. That's represented by a model of always having and funding militias across the region. And that's represented by strategic tension between Iran and Israel. Once you remove death to America, death to Israel, the need for Israel diminishes, and Israel has an identity crisis because they were always creating the justification for war. And so this is effectively a war to end that narrative, is what I think is happening here. But at the same time, we are categorically going through a global reset. I'll just jump into that right now, because effectively the nuclear bomb was the closure of the Strait of Hormuz. That has directly led to the renegotiation of 50 of the most important energy, minerals, food components. And every single one of those is being renegotiated and giving winners and losers as a result of it. And that is a global reset. Right now, if the Strait of Hormuz opened today, it would take probably a month to get through the 3,500 ships that are just sat there trying to figure out what to do. The damaged infrastructure was probably 5 months of damage, but if it escalates to the next stage, Qatar has already come out and said 5 years of damage to bring that back on tap. And so what we have effectively done is we have reset the world order to make Europe and the Western Hemisphere dependent upon American liquefied natural gas and oil. And at the same time, draw Asia and Russia closer through these energy bailouts right now. There is only two ways in which this goes. And I believe that if we are still in the old world order and the military industrial complex is still trying to prop up the dollar and the petrodollar, then what would happen next is you'd have 600,000 troops invading Iran. It would take years. They would take over the oil fields and they would rip open, this oil in Iran is all going to be priced in dollar, and the Strait of Hormuz is going to be controlled by BlackRock and other financial powers. That's impossible. It's not going to happen. And so therefore, the only other alternative is that you actually end up in a deal that effectively vassalizes Iran deeper into China. And this financial industrial complex, they try to get a foothold across the Middle East, but they commit to a regional stability model rather than the forever war. So effectively, it ends the forever war. And we're going through massive market manipulation right now in order to get to a scenario where the only choice is to do a deal. Iran right now holds the key to the price of oil. And who is Iran? Iran effectively is an economic dependent upon China right now. And so Iran is selling 90% of its oil to China. The Strait of Hormuz is open to China. At the moment, if China is involved in a big negotiation, it is a relationship between Iran and China right now that has maximum leverage. So Trump needs to crash the price of oil. Otherwise, things are going to start breaking. And we can look.
I just don't see how you crash the price of oil today. That just seems to me the price of oil has been hanging on by its nails, not to go up, not down.
Yeah. But there is only one way to crash the price of oil. It's to reach a deal with Iran. And to reach a deal with Iran, you are negotiating with a greater power, which is China. And in April, they're due to meet, but that meeting may or may not be delayed. We don't know what to trust anymore. But to me, this is the final war, the reset of all 50, oil and LNG and different fertilizers and minerals. All of those are being renegotiated right now to move to this world of multipolarity. And I don't think Trump's trying to save the dollar. I think he's an agent of chaos that is effectively going to have to reach a deal. So if you look, firstly, China knew all this was going to happen. They were prepared for it. They built the largest oil reserves. They were preparing this for a long, long time. There is not much of a petrodollar anymore. There is a petro yuan on the Chinese side. But the petrodollar, everything's being priced in dollars. And the vast majority of the world are settling in dollars, but they're not buying treasuries with those dollars because now they're buying gold and they're buying US equities. And so if you look, what was the growth? What was the AI trade? It relied upon two sources of funding. One was the private credit market, by the financial industrial complex, basically lending by putting together these packaged products. Those are the ones that are blowing up right now and getting mass withdrawals. But it was also transnational capital. It was Gulf sovereign foreign direct investment. And so they were buying up the AI infrastructure, doing deals with NVIDIA and saying, you build the data centers here, we'll plug our energy in. And so effectively, America was being asset stripped of all of its innovation. They weren't buying the treasuries. They were buying gold instead. And as the dollar started weakening, they needed to protect the peg. How are they going to protect the peg? Well, they had to just sell their treasuries, and they're not going to sell their gold. But the less, if they run out of treasuries, they're now protecting the peg to the dollar by selling gold, which is obviously not a trade that's going to last forever. So you need to reset that relationship. One way of doing it is get Iran to blow up all the US foreign bases. You get America and Israel to take out some of the hardliners, turn it into a government that would work with China's vision of the world. China has leverage over Iran, all the Gulf countries, and America because America's running out of weapons. if it wants to build those weapons, China could just say, no, we're not exporting. So they are the American military industrial complex is dependent upon China in this relationship, which is why I can only conclude that people are negotiating, talking, and this is leading up to a big deal between the powers within America, which are military, financial, and technical, and China. And Saudi is going to probably renegotiate defense contracts. And immediately what happened, as soon as Iran started hitting those strategic targets, then they started targeting the energy infrastructure, pushed up the price of oil, the closure of the Strait of Hormuz, every single relationship renegotiated. Even countries like Qatar, very interestingly, they did force majeure, turned off their LNG plants, but they're a 70% owner in Golden Path in Texas, which is 70% owned by Qatar and 30% owned by Exxon. And so they're somewhat hedged, but UAE wasn't hedged. But all of this distress selling that's happening in UAE, institutions are buying up right now. So effectively, what the financial industrial complex is doing is getting a foothold in this new multipolar world order. Trump is delivering the set of circumstances to renegotiate these contracts. And then eventually, I believe there will be a regionally stable Middle East, because it will no longer be the Middle East. The reason it was called the Middle East is because London was looking eastward and saying this is the middle of the world. It's now going to be West Asia again, because it's all renegotiated with China. And Trump, via Israel, is just trying to give as much leverage to the banks and financial institutions to get as big a foothold in this new world as effectively the Middle East control the future of the dollar.
Let me break this down for my fellow Bitcoiners. In just 8 weeks, I've seen a serious shift. More strength, more energy, and fast muscle gains. The reason? FITSCRIPT. They ran 124 biomarkers, blood, hormones, inflammation, and built a fully custom plan, nutrition, training, supplements. No guesswork, no templates. This is functional medicine meets precision fitness for high-performing men who want sovereignty over their health. If you care about optimization the way you care about your money, test, don't guess. Don't trust, verify. Hit the link in the description or scan the QR code on the screen to check out FITSCRIPT and see what's possible. One company I like pointing people to when they ask about Bitcoin mining is Abundant Mines. They were founded by Bo and Christine Turner after losing over $500,000 to broken promises in the mining industry. And they built their hosting model to remove the usual headaches. With Abundant Mines, you own your machines and keep 100% of the Bitcoin you mine. There's no revenue share, no hidden skims. Pricing is simple. One flat monthly fee covers power, parts, labor, and repairs. They also guarantee uptime. If a machine goes down, their hash rate redirect system routes hash power from their fleet, so earnings don't just stop. And every machine is insured at full replacement value. Everything is hosted in the US, powered by Hydro, and mining equipment may qualify for 100% year one bonus depreciation. Learn more at abundantmines.com/sessions.
Before you jump in there, Dave, I just have a quick question. The the LNG plants, the oil and gas infrastructure that was hit by Iran, was that intentional, or was that the military industrial complex taking shots at the financial industrial complex? Was that part of the plan, or how do you read that particular event?
I believe there is a power struggle and there was a plan, and there are factions of the military that are fighting against that plan, represented by, neocons within America, Zionists within Israel, and hardliners within the IRGC. And so I think they are genuinely resisting this. And there is a theatrical agreed upon outcome that has spiraled out of control. But in the end, I think the financial industrial complex will get what they want. And the military, just like it was in Venezuela, is being sent on these missions for transnational capital to go and get it done, what it needs to be done to transition to this new world. And I do believe that America is meant to end this, saying it was Israel's fault. This wasn't our war. Trump got blackmailed. He was Epsteined. I think that's a construct of how the average American is meant to feel. Israel is definitely meant to end up burdened with a lot of debt, an economy that no longer works and strategically weakened at the end of this. I don't think they're meant to have a humanitarian crisis, but they are meant to be vassalized, I believe, into the GCC, while Iran is effectively vassalized into China. And then Trump is negotiating for the financial industrial complex.
But Israel's not going to sign off on this plan. Whoever's right, this is going to be over Israel's dead body, right?
Well, now the project is over because I believe that the financial industrial complex, which is the Gulf Sovereign Wealth Funds, now have leverage, and they're able to say, okay, China's got this game with Iran. We've got this game with the Western banks and BlackRock. Now we're in a situation where we demand regional stability. We'll give you one final war, eliminate the proxies. We don't want any more Iranian proxies in Lebanon or in Yemen or in Gaza. And Saudi will not normalize until there is a Palestinian state. And Israel needs to be economically weakened and stop using it in order to agitate the region. And so a very dangerous last final war has, I believe, been set up to try and achieve that goal. And who's pulling the strings is China. And so this really comes down to, if you want to put it in its most simplest form, a negotiation between China, BlackRock, and JP Morgan. That's what I think this war is.
Simon, if you're wrong about your thesis, what evidence, what would you expect to see to lead you to go like, okay, this is not what's happening, we've gone in a different direction, or even kind of similarly that the military industrial complex is winning in this situation and take us? Is it just boots on the ground, or is there something else that we should be alert for?
Yeah, I mean, good question. So if we don't get a deal before the meeting between Xi Jinping and Trump, then I think the analysis is wrong.
Okay. So set my watch here.
Yeah.
When is that meeting? When is that meeting?
It's meant to be April, but then there's been questions around, is it delayed? Is it not delayed? So
yeah, they'll delay it if they don't get a deal. So
yeah. And so, yeah, if there is a deal and then Xi Jinping and Trump meet, then I think the analysis was right. If this escalates to the point where there's boots on the ground, they try and take over Iran and they price the oil in dollars, there's a forever war, and Israel gets more and more aggressive, then the military industrial complex beat out the financial industrial complex.
But the boots on the ground isn't even required, right? It's just if there's an escalation of the destruction of capital, right?
With the desalination, if Iran or somebody else takes out the desalination facilities, would that be a sufficient escalation to go, okay, we're stuck here?
Yeah, if someone blows something up that creates a humanitarian crisis that leads to like the death of civilians in the Gulf states or something like that, then we're off track.
It means the rules changed.
Yeah,
it means the rules changed.
Yeah.
Hey, you. Yes, you watching the Bitcoin price movements and the latest exciting news. It's awesome to stay informed, but the real power of Bitcoin comes from taking control. Don't just watch, take action. Head over to btcsessions.ca/learn for free step-by-step tutorials that guide you through every major skill you need to know, plus full video playlists for deeper dives on any topic you like. And if you're ready for the ultimate fast track, scroll to the bottom and check out bitcoinmentor.io for premium one-on-one experience with my team of Bitcoin experts to ensure you get it right the first time. Don't wait. Secure your Bitcoin future today. Hit the link in the show notes or scan the QR code on the screen.